My wife said, "You're a grown man, you want dinner, take care of yourself," after I worked a 14-hour paramedic shift in 100-degree heat. So I started doing exactly that. What happened next showed me who I really was in this marriage. I'm Max, 33, male, and I've been married to Jocelyn, 30, female, for 4 years. She has 2 kids from a previous relationship, Logan, 10, male, and Emma, 7, female. Their bio dad is pretty checked out, sporadic child support, rarely sees them. I stepped up. I don't call them my stepkids. They're just my kids in every way that matters. I work as a paramedic in Houston, mostly night shifts. The money's decent, but the work is brutal. 12 to 14-hour shifts, constant stress, people dying in your hands, heat exhaustion in summer. But someone's gotta do it, and honestly, I love the work. Saving lives feels like it matters. When Jocelyn and I first got together, things felt balanced. She worked full-time at a photography studio, we split groceries, took turns cooking, normal teamwork stuff. After we got married, she decided to quit the studio and go freelance, shooting family portraits, selling handmade stuff on Etsy. She wanted to be home more for the kids, and I supported that. I told her, "I can handle the finances. You focus on the kids. We're a team." So that's what we did. I pay the mortgage, both car payments, insurance, utilities, groceries, kids' activities. Jocelyn brings in maybe $800 to $1,000 a month from bookings and online sales. It works, or I thought it did. Last Tuesday, I worked a double shift. Started at 8 a.m., didn't clock out until 10:30 p.m. We had 3 major car accidents, 2 cardiac arrests, and a heat stroke case. I spent most of the day in 100-degree heat in full gear, running between calls. I grabbed a protein bar at lunch. That was it. I came home exhausted. Uniform covered in dried sweat and that antiseptic smell that never quite washes out. The house was dark except for the living room TV playing Netflix. Kitchen was spotless, everything put away, no leftovers in sight. I opened the fridge. Empty except for the kids' yogurt cups and some condiments. I walked to the living room. Jocelyn was on the couch scrolling her phone. "Hey babe, did you save me any dinner? I haven't eaten since noon." She didn't look up. "No, I cooked for the kids at 6. Kitchen's closed. You're a grown man. You want dinner. Take care of yourself." I just stood there. My ears were ringing from exhaustion. I just worked 14 hours. She laughed, not a nice laugh. "Nobody forced you to pick night shifts. You chose that job, so deal with it. I'm not a 24/7 diner." I wanted to say, the mortgage you don't pay, the car you drive that I'm paying off, Logan's summer camp, Emma's ballet classes, the Netflix you're watching, all paid for by those night shifts I chose. But I was too tired, so I just made 2 pieces of toast, ate them standing at the counter, and went to bed. Lying there in the dark, those 4 words kept repeating, "Take care of yourself." It wasn't even an insult, at least not directly, but it stung so freaking bad. I thought we were a team. I thought we were supposed to take care of each other. I started thinking about other things. Small things that suddenly felt big. At Jocelyn's family dinners, while her mom talked to her and the kids, I only got a polite "night shifts must be tough, Mark." They called me Mark. My name is Max. At parent-teacher conferences, when teachers complimented how involved I am, Jocelyn joked, "He's better at paying bills than playing catch, but he tries." I remember Emma's ballet recital last month. I switched shifts to be there. Afterward, Emma ran to me first. Jocelyn said, "Go thank Max for taking time off work." Like I was the babysitter getting off early. Last week I mentioned my back was hurting from lifting patients. Jocelyn said, "Your work insurance covers that, right? Don't waste money going out of network." That same week, she booked herself a self-care weekend at some budget resort with friends. Cost about $400. I'm lying here in the dark, doing math I don't want to do, checking account statements I haven't looked at in months because I trusted we were partners. I pulled up our bank statements for the last 3 months, and guess what I found? Over $900 on Jocelyn's clothes, home decor, and girls' nights out. You know how much I spent on myself? $0 on the running shoes I desperately need because my back is killing me from lifting patients all day. I haven't bought myself new work boots in 2 years. The soles are wearing through. Every dollar I make goes into this household and the people in it, and I still don't even deserve a hot meal after a brutal day at work. Am I a husband? Or am I just a provider? A paycheck that takes up space? When did I become the guy who gets told to take care of himself after saving lives all day? It's not even like I'm some 1950s guy who thinks cooking is automatically a wife's job. If she were busy or overwhelmed, I'd have zero problem making dinner myself. But that wasn't what happened. She just deliberately chose not to make anything for me. Seth, my partner at work, has been saying stuff for months. Man, I never hear you talk about your wife doing anything for you. It's always what you're doing for them. I brushed it off. That's just marriage, right? You take care of your family. But lying here, hungry and alone after a 14-hour shift, I'm starting to wonder, what would happen if I actually did what she said? What if I really did just take care of myself? Edit, going to try to sleep. Early shift tomorrow, thanks for listening. I'll update if anything changes. Update 1, hey everyone. Didn't expect that first post to blow up like it did. Thanks for all the reality checks. I needed them. So I decided to take Jocelyn's advice. If I'm supposed to take care of myself, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. Monday, after my shift, I stopped at the grocery store. Bought myself a nice ribeye steak, asparagus, a good bottle of beer, fresh sourdough bread, just for me. I got home around 8 p.m. Logan and Emma were eating frozen chicken nuggets and tater tots off paper plates while watching TV. Jocelyn was scrolling her phone on the couch. I unpacked my groceries on the counter, started seasoning my steak. Jocelyn looked over, watched me for a minute. You went shopping? Yeah. She got up, came to the kitchen, looked at my ingredients. You didn't ask if we wanted to eat with you. You just bought food for yourself. I looked at her. You're a grown woman. You want dinner. Take care of yourself. That's what you told me. Her mouth opened, closed. She blinked a few times like she was processing a math problem that didn't make sense. That's not what I meant. What did you mean then? She didn't answer, just stood there while I cooked my steak. The smell filled the kitchen, garlic, butter, that perfect sear. Logan came in. Max, that smells so good. What are you making? Steak, buddy, just for me tonight. Can I have some? I looked at Jocelyn. She was glaring at me now. Ask your mom to make you something better than nuggets, okay? After I sat down to eat, Jocelyn stood in the doorway. This is really petty, Max. Is it? Or is it just doing exactly what you told me to do? She went back to the couch without another word. But I noticed she ordered pizza for her and the kids 30 minutes later. Wednesday, my rare night off. I decided to make myself a really good pasta dinner. I opened a bottle of wine I'd been saving. I was plating it when Jocelyn walked into the kitchen. She stopped, stared at the setup. You made yourself pasta? Yep. I sat down, twirled some pasta on my fork. You didn't make any for us. Her voice had this edge to it, like she couldn't believe what she was seeing. I thought we weren't running a 24/7 diner. You've been home all day. Figured you could take care of yourself. She just stood there, arms crossed. So this is how it's going to be. You're just going to, pretend we don't exist. I'm not pretending anything. I'm taking care of myself, like you said. You're welcome to do the same. Her face went red. I have kids to feed, Max. You also have a kitchen, ingredients, time, same as me. She stormed out. 20 minutes later, I heard her making macaroni and cheese from a box, slamming the pot harder than necessary. Friday, I was getting ready for my shift when I saw a group text pop up. Jocelyn had booked movie tickets, girls' night plus Logan, 3 tickets. The movie was tonight. I was literally in the group chat. I didn't say anything, just went to work. After my shift, Seth asked if I wanted to grab beers. First time I'd said yes in over a year. We went to this sports bar, watched the game, talked about normal guy stuff. I got home around 11 p.m. The lights were on. Jocelyn was waiting. Where were you? Out with Seth, got some beers after work. You didn't think to tell me or ask if we wanted to do something as a family. I just looked at her. You booked movie tickets for you and the kids today. You didn't ask me. You didn't even mention it until after you'd bought them. That's different. How? Because, she floundered, because you're always working. I didn't think you'd want to go. Did you ask? Silence. Right, I said. So you made plans without me, didn't include me, and that's fine. But me going out with a friend after work, that's a problem. You're being difficult. No, Jocelyn, I'm being exactly what you told me to be. Someone who takes care of himself and doesn't expect you to be a 24/7 service. She opened her mouth, closed it, then turned and went upstairs without another word. Then Logan's situation happened. Logan came home with a D on his science test. Usually I help him study. He's a smart kid, just needs someone to work with him. He found me in the garage after my shift. He had that look kids get when they're trying not to cry. Max, can you help me study like you always do? I don't understand the periodic table stuff. I was so tired I could barely stand. My back was screaming. And through the garage door I could see Jocelyn on the couch, phone in hand, scrolling. Buddy, I just worked 24 hours straight. Your mom's been home all day. She can help you. His face fell. Not angry, just confused. Jocelyn heard me from the living room. She came to the garage door and her voice had that sharp edge. Are you seriously punishing a kid because you're mad at me? He didn't do anything to you, Max. That's what got me. She was right. Logan didn't deserve this. But somehow I was the villain for not automatically being the solution while she sat on her phone all day. I ended up helping Logan that night. Not because of Jocelyn, but because of the way his face fell when he saw us arguing. We stayed up till midnight going through elements and compounds, atomic numbers, the whole thing. He aced his retake. But the entire time I kept thinking, why is it that when I step back for even 1 second I'm punishing people? Why is my exhaustion selfish, but her being available and choosing not to help is just normal? Then Tuesday happened. That's the real update. Tuesday afternoon, scorching hot day. We got back-to-back calls. Car accident on I-10, elderly man having a stroke, domestic violence situation that got messy. After we delivered the last patient to the ER, I felt dizzy, really dizzy. I remember Seth's face getting blurry and then, nothing. I woke up on a gurney. In the same I just dropped a patient off at. Seth was sitting next to me and Dr. Patel was checking my vitals. You passed out from exhaustion, dehydration, and sleep deprivation, Dr. Patel said. Max, you need serious rest. If this happens again, it could be much worse. You're running yourself into the ground. I looked at my phone, one text from Jocelyn. When are you done? Can you pick up Logan from practice tonight? No, are you okay? No call, nothing. I texted back, I'm in the ER. I collapsed at work. Her response came 30 minutes later. Oh no, are you okay? Will you be home for dinner? I stared at that message for a long time. Seth saw my face. What'd she say? I showed him. He shook his head. Man, I'm just gonna say it. You're not a husband to her. You're a resource. I spent that night at Seth's place. Told Jocelyn I needed space after a medical scare. She said okay, but seemed more worried about who'd handle the morning routine. Lying on Seth's couch, I made a decision. Tomorrow I'm calling a lawyer, not to file yet, just to understand what leaving would actually look like. I can't keep being the guy who works himself into a hospital bed and gets asked if he'll be home for dinner. Update 2. So I met with a lawyer. Her name's Ms. Corinne Blake. She didn't sugarcoat anything. And before anyone makes the stereotype joke, she's actually incredibly good at her job. The house is in my name from before the marriage. Jocelyn might claim partial equity if she can prove contributions to renovations, but that's a stretch. No shared kids means no child support obligations. I might owe short-term spousal support depending on how the judge sees it, but Texas isn't California. It wouldn't be forever. You're in a better position than most, she said. But the question is, are you ready to do this? I told her I wanted to try talking to Jocelyn first. One real conversation. That conversation happened last Wednesday night. I waited until Logan and Emma were asleep. Sat Jocelyn down at the kitchen table. I told her everything. How I felt like an ATM with legs. How take care of yourself after a 14-hour shift made me feel worthless. How she didn't even call when I collapsed at work. How in 4 years of marriage I couldn't remember the last time she'd asked about my day, my stress, my anything. When you look at me, I asked, what do you see? Honestly, because I don't think you see a husband, I think you see a paycheck. She sat there for a long time not looking at me. Finally, I have to think about the kids too. I can't let them go without. Not I'm sorry. Not I love you. Not even you're wrong. Just I have to think about the kids. I sat back. So if I couldn't work any more, then what? Would you stay? She looked away. I don't know, that's not fair. Actually, I said quietly, that's the most honest answer you've given me in years. I slept in the guest room that night. The next day I filed for legal separation. It's not divorce yet. It's a trial separation with legal paperwork establishing I'm moving out, we're separated, starting the division process. A test run before the full divorce. Jocelyn got the papers on Friday. That's when everything changed. She called me crying. Max, what are you doing? You're going to leave us over some arguments about dinner. It's not about the dinner, Jocelyn. Then what? Tell me. We can fix this. Don't do this to the kids. You didn't ask if I was okay when I collapsed at work. You asked if I'd be home for dinner. Silence. Then, I was scared, Max. I didn't know what to say. You've never been scared to tell me what you need, ever. But when I need something, suddenly you don't know what to say. She didn't have an answer for that. So I just hung up. Here's where it got surreal. Starting that weekend, Jocelyn became a completely different person. Sunday morning, she made my favorite breakfast. Full spread, eggs, bacon, biscuits, and gravy. Monday, she deep cleaned my truck. Left a note on the dashboard. Thank you for everything you do. Love, Jay. Tuesday, Logan and Emma showed me a poster they'd made. We love Max, with hand-drawn pictures of us doing homework together. Wednesday, Jocelyn posted on Facebook. First time she'd posted about me in months. So grateful for this man. He works so hard for our family, I don't say it enough. I saw all of it and I felt nothing, hollow. She could be this person. She could treat me like a husband. She just never thought she needed to before. Then came Sunday dinner at her parents' house. When love bombing wasn't working, Jocelyn decided the move was to tell her entire family that I was the problem. She stood up mid-dinner and announced, Max has been financially controlling our entire marriage. He won't let me spend money without permission. He tracks everything I buy. It's honestly been abusive and I'm scared. I just sat there. I'd already shown her parents the bank statements that morning, all $2,800 of her personal spending in 3 months versus my $140. Her dad stood up. Jocelyn, stop. We know about the spending. Max showed us everything. We know you've been treating him like an ATM. The table went silent. Jocelyn's face went red. That's my money. I can spend what I want. You're all ganging up on me. Her younger sister spoke up, quiet but clear. Jocelyn, he collapsed at work from exhaustion and you only asked if he'd be home for dinner. That's not okay. I watched Jocelyn realize what she'd just done. She tried to turn her whole family against me and instead they'd seen exactly who she really was. We left separately. She texted me later, I can't believe you told my parents. I replied, I told them the truth. You told them a lie. I'm moving out this weekend. Found a 1-bedroom apartment near the station. Short lease, flexible. It's small, but it's mine. Seth's helping me move. He said I look lighter already. Logan texted me yesterday. Are you still coming to my soccer game Saturday? I wrote back. I'll always be there for you, buddy. Emma drew me a picture of the new apartment with me smiling. She wrote, Max's happy place. I'm bringing that with me. I don't know what happens next with the kids. I don't know if Jocelyn will fight me or let this go quietly. I don't know if I'll end up owing spousal support or walking away clean. What I do know, I'm not an ATM anymore. And for the first time in 4 years, I'm taking care of myself for real this time. Edit. To everyone asking about the kids, I'm working with my lawyer to establish a formal relationship where I can still be in Logan and Emma's lives. I'm not their bio dad, but I've been their dad in every way that counts. I'm not abandoning them. Final update. It's been 3 months since I moved out. Time for a final update because some of you have been asking, and honestly, I need to close this chapter for myself. First, the apartment. I'm still in that 1-bedroom near the station. At first, it felt weird living alone. Too quiet. I kept expecting to hear Jocelyn's voice or the kids running around. But then I started making it mine. Bought a decent couch on Facebook Marketplace. Hung up some photos, me and Seth at a Texans game, Emma's drawing of Max's happy place, a picture of Logan scoring his first soccer goal. The apartment isn't much, but it's the first place that's felt like home in years. I can breathe here. The legal stuff wrapped up faster than expected. Jocelyn didn't fight the separation. I think her family's reaction at that dinner really shook her. Her mom called me privately to apologize, said she'd always noticed but didn't want to interfere. I appreciated the honesty. I'm paying temporary spousal support for 6 months, $800 a month. Not fun, but Ms. Blake warned me it was likely. After that, we're done financially. The house is mine. It's going to the market. Jocelyn moved into an apartment on the other side of town. We're not getting back together. We don't even talk anymore. That ship sailed, but we're figuring out how to be civil for the kids' sake. Speaking of the kids, this is the part I was most worried about, but it's actually turned out okay. Logan still texts me regularly. I go to his soccer games. We got ice cream last week and talked about his crush on a girl in his class. Normal dad-son stuff. Emma comes over every other weekend. She brings her art supplies and we have studio time where she draws and I attempt to draw. She's teaching me. Last weekend she said, "You're getting better, Max, not good but better." Kids got honest feedback down. Jocelyn and I worked out an informal arrangement. I'm not their legal guardian, but I'm a consistent adult presence in their lives. That's what matters. Logan told me last week, Mom's been different lately. She actually asks how our day was now. I'm glad. Those kids deserve better than they were getting. The thing I didn't expect, work got better. You know how they say when your home life is a disaster, it bleeds into everything. Yeah, true. Since moving out, I'm sleeping better, eating better. My back pain has decreased. Dr. Patel thinks the stress was making it worse. I actually enjoy my shifts now instead of dreading going home after. Seth says I'm less dead inside. His words, and then there's this. About a month ago, I met someone. Her name's Rachel. She's a nurse at one of the ERs we frequent. We've been friends for a while, you know, the "hey, you guys again" banter when we bring patients in. But after I moved out, Seth invited a bunch of people out for his birthday and Rachel was there. We talked for 3 hours about everything. Books, music, the burnout we both feel in healthcare, her terrible experience with online dating, my disaster of a marriage. When I told her about the take care of yourself thing, she said, "What kind of person says that to someone they're supposed to love?" She asked about my back pain, asked if I'd tried physical therapy, texted me the next day to ask if I'd made an appointment yet. She actually asked about me, like it mattered. We're taking it slow. Coffee dates between shifts, texting about stupid memes at 2 and when we're both having insomnia. Nothing serious yet. But here's what gets me. She treats me like I'm a person, not a provider, not a problem solver, just me. The bar is in hell. But can you blame me? I just got out of a marriage where I was treated like a walking ATM. The other day, something happened that made me realize how far I've come. I was at my apartment making dinner and I burned the chicken. Just totally charred it because I got distracted by a text. Old Max would have panicked, would have worried about wasting money, would have gone to bed hungry because ordering food felt too indulgent. New Max. I laughed, opened DoorDash, ordered Thai food and ate it on my couch while watching a documentary about space. I took care of myself, and it felt normal. To everyone who commented on my first post, you gave me permission to trust my gut. You showed me I wasn't crazy. Thank you. This is my last update. Time to close this chapter and focus on the next one. Peace, Reddit.